What it do, y'all? It's your girl Makeup and Travel, and for today's video your girl is here to bring you another video in my declutter series that I seem to be itching and feeling to do coming into fall. And I want to declutter my brushes. Now I tend to just do this off camera. I don't tend to actually do declutters of my brushes on camera, and I feel content with the amount of eye brushes that I have. What I need to declutter is my face brushes. I have an obscene amount of face brushes, and a lot of them I don't check for. I haven't been doing my foundation with brushes, so I have way too many brushes for that, and then just other things that I don't need all these brushes. And I know went through a phase where like I loved testing brushes, but the brushes that I didn't like I kept. Why? So I want to go back through my brushes. That's pretty much it. By the time this video goes up, this eye look should definitely be up, so I will definitely have it linked down below in case you're interested. I did of course record it, and I think that's it. I will see you guys in a second. Okay guys, so I got a new setup. I moved some things around in my room, and yeah, I just wanted to go ahead and do this brush declutter very quickly for you guys. Like I said in the intro, this is mainly to break down the face brushes. I am pretty content in all my eye brushes, and every brush that is dirty, it's dirty because I enjoy reaching for it and I like the brush. I'm just going to show you guys the brushes that I have in my collection that are clean, that I do not really reach for, and we are going to declutter them. So I am going to slowly take them out and we will get started. So these are all the brushes that are clean in my collection currently that I want. We're not doing that one. That I need to go through single-handedly and just decide whether I'm going to keep the brush or not. Yeah, let's just get into it because this is going to be kind of hard. Yeah. Okay, so I have a lot of foundation brushes. A lot of them tend to be like this. It's like a rounded kind of kabuki-ish brush. And honestly, I don't need all of them. I have an obscene amount. I know I have two of these e.l.f. ones because these are actually my favorite. So I actually, and I haven't been using brushes as often lately. I've been really sticking to my sponges. So I have two e.l.f. ones. These are my favorite of this style, so I am gonna go ahead and keep it. I also have this other one. It's from Mikasa, and this is the F310. I'm gonna put this in my maybe pile. Let me just go ahead and go through and find any others. This is a BH Cosmetics brush. I got this in a kit, and this is a similar style. It's a little bit more flat, but it's very loose. The only reason I'm thinking about keeping this is because I want to try a couple new techniques, and this brush may be useful for that. No, I'm getting rid of this. This is going goodbye. Okay, this is another brush that is going goodbye. I hate with the passion flat top foundation brushes, and this happened to be a collaboration between Andrea Renee and Peach and Pearl. I had problems with this brand, and like I said, I don't like the flat top face foundation brushes, so this is getting decluttered. I actually really just lost the brush. I actually really like this brush. This is from a BH Cosmetics brush kit as well, and this is the marbles, and this is in number 3. This is the foundation brush in this set, and I really liked how this is so flat, but you get to really buff this into your skin, and I really do enjoy this for when I'm using foundation brushes, so I'm going to keep this. Once again, I don't like flat top brushes, and this is just too flimsy. It gets the foundation into my skin, but the foundation really gets stuck in the brush, and I just hate it. So this is going goodbye as well. This is another foundation brush I'm going to go ahead and say goodbye to. This is from the Cream Shop. I really did enjoy this brush for what it was, but it's just not a favorite anymore. I don't really enjoy it. It's time for it to go. This is not a foundation brush, but I just know I'm going to get rid of this brush, so I want to go ahead and say it. This is the BH Cosmetics number 5 brush. I honestly don't know what people use this for. Maybe to blend out eyeshadow primer, but I don't blend out my eyeshadow primer with a brush. I use my finger, and if I use a brush, it's definitely not going to be this compact and this like rough. Maybe some people use this for concealer, but yeah, no, I don't like it. It's going goodbye. Oh, this is another one that might be getting the boot. Okay, this is going in my maybe pile. This is a Royal Land Nickel Buffer BMD 180. I don't know, so this is going in my maybe pile. I hate this thing. I don't even know what this is. I think this is a Wet n Wild brush. It's going. I don't like this shape. I think it's interesting, but I just don't like it. And this is my Sigma 3D HD Kabuki brush. So this is getting decluttered. Very rarely do I actually use this as a highlighter brush. This is another BH brush from a set, and I'm gonna put this in my maybe pile because if I have too many of these, I'm gonna get rid of it. I think it'd be nice to have one or two, but not too many. Okay, another favorite. What is this? Oh, this is a foundation brush from e.l.f. too. I don't really remember using this brush that much. I guess I clearly did because the bristles are brown, but that's getting decluttered. Another favorite foundation brush is this one. This is my Sigma curved Kabuki brush. I love this foundation brush, so this is staying. So right now I have about 5 foundation brushes. That's pretty much a good number in my opinion. When I do use foundation brushes, I hate cleaning them, so having that amount is pretty good. There are a couple other brushes. I don't even know where to go from here. Okay, let's pull out any brushes that I use for highlighter. And when I say highlighter, I mean like brush. Wait, what is this? Why is this here? This is an eyeshadow brush. This is going. This is the BH Cosmetics number 5 brush. I use this very rarely, and honestly, I just, no, bye. I don't think me and dual fibers are ever gonna be a love connection. I just don't think we're gonna see that connection with each other. Okay, these are some brushes that I pulled out, and I was saying a little bit earlier that I'm thinking about doing some new techniques, and I think that these are going to be brushes that are going to be useful. I don't use this brush very often, but this is like a backup highlighter brush, and this is from Linda Hallberg. Like I said, it's not my favorite highlighter brush, but it is okay. And since I have it, I like to keep it, and I do tend to like go through my collection for friends, and like if they need something, I give it to them because I clearly have an abundance of things. So yeah, that is going to be a brush I keep in my collection just in case I need to give to a friend. Wow, I clearly did not clean this well because a lot of powder is coming out of this. I think I'm gonna get rid of this one too. This is another The Cream Shop brush. Very nice brush for when I got them, but I just don't need them anymore. I think I'm actually gonna go ahead and keep this Sephora VIB Rouge brush. I saw Danessa Myricks do a lot of makeup with a brush very similar. Not Danessa Myricks, I'm sorry. I saw wow, that is a very big jump. I saw Kinky Sweat do a full face base wise with a brush like this, so I want to try it. It'll get me to prep for that brand in case I do pick up that brush. So I want to keep this in my collection, and I do want this to be nearby, so hopefully I'll try that soon. And this is a Sonia Kashuk brush. Pretty much, honestly, my Sonia Kashuk face brushes, my Wayne Goss brushes, and my Rephr brushes are staying. Honestly, you'd have to tear them from my cold, dead hands. These are, one, expensive, but also just really, really nice. There are a few that I just don't get the use or the love out of them, but regardless, they're staying. So these are the few that I can see offhand. If I had to declutter one, it would be this little stupid thing right here, the Fan Pro. I knew buying the set, because I bought the Face Pro set or whatever it was, I knew buying that set that I was not going to love this brush, and I don't, but it's a brush that I'm going to keep nonetheless because I enjoy it. I think this is technically clean. It just looks dirty. Okay. Now I'm going to do any brush that I use for like concealing or for powdering my concealed areas. Okay, so I have a lot of brushes for this. Like I said, keep in mind, guys, this is only my clean brushes. I have an obscene amount of dirty brushes, and some of these things are overlapping. This is my only kind of concealer brush that I will use to actually blend out concealer. I think this is the only one I have in my collection, so I will go ahead and keep this. This is a brush from Mikasa, and it is in their F400, so I am going to go ahead and keep that. But all of these other brushes, I just don't need all of these. So my Rephr one is phenomenal. I'm keeping that. Cold dead hands, remember guys, cold dead hands. I also really enjoy my Royal and Land nickel brush, so this is going nowhere. And then if I had to choose two more to keep out of this pile of brushes, it would be my Fenty, and it would be this Peach & Co brush. These are the other two that I actually really enjoy using for under eye powder setting. So these four, I'm just gonna go ahead and clutter. It looks like two of them, if I can remember correctly, are from Wet n Wild. This one is a Real Technique. I actually like this for blush though too. I'm gonna keep this one. I'm gonna get rid of these three. These three are, I only exclusively use this for under eye powder, and I just don't need that many under eye setting powder brushes. Since I talked about it, there are a couple that I use for like blush application. These are not my favorite brush application brushes, but I do use them that way, so I'm gonna go ahead and talk about them. And this is kind of a multi-purpose brush, so we're just gonna go talk about these. I like all of these brushes. These two, oh my god, I am clearly a very bad person when it comes to cleaning my brushes. I like all of these, so I am gonna go ahead and actually keep all of them. Okay, this is a stupid expensive brush. I got this from my Hakuhodo haul a while ago, and like I said, stupid expensive. I'm keeping it. I don't care. Cold dead hands. Another stupid expensive brush, staying Hakuhodo. Cold dead hands, guys. Cold dead hands. Okay, so another thing, I'm gonna go for like my weird brushes that I got for a particular purpose, whether I use them or don't. So it would be these 4 brushes. So as you can see, these are all pretty much duo fiber, and tell me if I've ever used these. Ask me if I've ever used these. I've used this to apply my foundation, and I think it is okay. I do get some streaks depending on the foundation, but it's not terrible. I don't think I've tried this crown brush, so I'm gonna keep it. This is a foundation brush though, and this is the C502. I'm gonna keep this because I have not tried it and I did spend my money. So I'm gonna put this in my foundation cup. Hopefully I try this. This is a powder foundation brush, and I purposely bought this thinking that this would force me to use that one powder foundation I had in my collection. It did not. Once again, still gonna keep it because that was not a cheap brush, and I never know, I might get into powder foundation later on in life. This is a very fluffy duo fiber, and this one is a lot more compact. I think I'm gonna keep the compact one. I've actually used this one, for goodness sake, and this is the Real Techniques brush, and this is a Coastal Scents one, and I'm just gonna let it go. It's Coastal Scents. It was probably like $2. It's fine for me to get rid of that. Okay. So we're getting somewhat to the end, somewhat. I have quite a few brushes in here that I use personally for bronzer. That is the brush collection that I have the most, and if I don't use it for bronzer from this pile, I use it for powder. Those are the 2 brushes that I have a lot of because I am a combination oily girl and I just love bronzer. So those are the 2 areas of kind of face makeup that I have a lot of. I think the one brush I could get rid of because I feel kind of indifferent to is this. This is an Ulta Beauty bronzer brush. I feel indifferent to this, so we're gonna go ahead and say goodbye. I feel like I feel indifferent to this brush too, but this is a really nice drugstore alternative, but I'm not that type of girl, so we're gonna go ahead and get rid of it. This is my e.l.f. Flawless Face Brush. I think this is beautiful for applying bronzer and other powder, but I just have so many brushes, so many. Sonia Kashuk Cold Dead Hands, guys, cold dead hands. This is like a weird size for my head because it's in between the other ones in this line. But I think I am gonna go ahead and keep this. Yeah, I think I'm gonna keep it. I love this crown brush right here. This is like the dupe for the Big Daddy Jaclyn Hill brush. Highly recommend this. Marc Jacobs, going absolutely nowhere. This brush is interesting. I had 2 of these or something, and like I got rid of the other one because it was shedding too much, and this one is just okay. I'm gonna keep it though. What the heck, I don't care. I don't care. I think I can get rid of this. This is another Wet n Wild brush. I guess I must have got a set or something. I don't even remember getting that set, but it's a lot of brushes that I just don't care about. I don't really care about this one either. And this is a shape that I have 10 times over. Give it to a friend. Same with this one. This is a Cream Shop brush. 10 times over, I have that brush face area type situation. This is a BH brush. Do I need this? Is this special? Would I die if I did not have this? I wouldn't. This is a BH Cosmetics 124 brush. I think I'm gonna go ahead and say goodbye. I think this was the last one in this set that I had. It's a nice brush, but it's okay. I like this because this one is really pointed. This is another e.l.f. brush, so I'm gonna go ahead and keep that. I don't have very many pointed bronzer brushes. And I think that's it. I think that's it. We are I am going to go ahead and pull out all the face brushes that are dirty really quickly and just show you guys those. There may be some that I want to declutter out of that one too. Okay, like I said, I have quite a few face brushes that are just dirty. If we needed to be realistic, these are brushes that I stick to and pretty much use exclusively for like a month. So if I had to break down my face brush collection, I could live with just these. But yeah, we're gonna see if I can get rid of any of these. This is one. I'm not lusting after this brush, and yeah, anyways, this is another Real Techniques brush. I really loved this range. I got a couple of them, all from TJ Maxx, but you know, it's time for them to go. I've had my fun with them and I don't need them anymore. This Morphe brush, I'm not the biggest fan of. This is another brush I use pretty consistently for bronzer. I'm gonna put this in my maybe pile. Everything else I am very satisfied keeping in my collection. I use it for either a lot of use or for a particular purpose, so I am happy with that. Okay, now let's go back to the maybe brushes. So these are the maybe brushes. When I looked through my collection, when it came to highlighter brush, this is the only one that I have that is this shape. So I am going to go ahead and keep this one. I think it is a shape that sometimes is beneficial. For most part, I do not like a shape like this to apply my highlighter, but yeah. I prefer the teardrop, which you just saw from my Sigma Beauty F. I prefer this shape. Even though I don't like this brush, I prefer this shape to the more tear shape that you see here. So yeah, either way, I'm gonna keep that. And then we have these three. These are two foundation brushes. Looking at the amount of foundation brushes I have 7 foundation brushes. I have 2 sets of 2 of my top brushes and then a couple that I just want to try out. If I had to choose a brush that would be unique. Okay, sorry, my camera cut me off. I had to change my battery. If I had to choose a brush that is more unique to my brush collection, just based on the shape and the feel, it would be this Royal and Land Nickel brush, which is, like I said, the BMD 140. So I think I am gonna go ahead and keep this brush. It's more unique, more flexible. All of my other brushes are a lot more stiff and a lot more bristles in there. So I think this would be unique. Also, I think this would be one of the few kind of synthetic, no, that's a lie. Anyways, unique, so I'm gonna go ahead and keep her. And then I have this Morphe brush, which I almost exclusively use for bronzer. This brush is good because it adds a very thin layer of bronzer. But if you know me, if you watch my channel to any extent, you know your girl packs on bronzer like white on rice. So I don't think I really need this brush, and I mean need is a very relative term, extremely relative. Is the shape unique? I guess. I mean, and I have the room currently. Currently, I just got rid of quite a few, so this actually freed up a good amount of space. Oh, fine, I think I'm just gonna go ahead and keep it. So yeah, I did not declutter any eye brushes. Do I need to? I guess I'll do the eye brushes really quickly. Let's go through them. Okay, so these are all the eye brushes that I had clean in one organizer. This is an arrangement of brushes from an arrangement of prices, conditions. As you can see, this Morphe brush has been through the work, but then again, it's Morphe, so yeah. I think I'm just gonna go ahead and throw this away because it is so busted, but it's actually not a bad brush. And I do like how some of these brushes, Morphe's brushes, are like rough and like janky. I like that because some eyeshadows you really need a rough brush to really get that product. So I am just gonna go ahead and throw that one away and just get a new one if I want to. I don't use this brush very often, if at all. Yeah, I think I'm gonna get rid of this. This is the Clarity E31. It's a flat-ish kind of blending brush. I just don't use this type of shape very often. I like more rounded or pointed. So I'm gonna go ahead and get rid of that one. This is a weird brush for me. This Be Elegant Bedazzle Tools. I think this is the one brush that I have from this range. Very weird brush, but it's unique, so I am gonna keep it. But yeah, it is very weird for me. Other than that, I enjoy the shape or the brand or both or whatever have you for all of these other brushes. So I'm gonna go ahead and keep them and now I'm gonna get out the next cup of brushes. These are once again clean brushes. I don't really use this ever. So when I had a really thick eyeshadow base, I loved this deluxe crease brush. Would highly recommend this. I'm pretty sure it comes in a set with another brush. Loved that set. I don't use this often, but this is like 4 glitters. So in the event that I have a concussion and I decide to use a glitter, I have a glitter applicator. This is for depotting. This is a very weird shape. I'm not the biggest fan of this shape, but this was not a cheap brush, so I am gonna keep it. This is my Hakuhodo brush, and I don't see a name, if there is a name on this thing. So yeah, we're gonna keep her. I think everything's fine. The one brush I would get rid of if, like, I don't know, I tried it for once, would be this Moda Pro brush, and this is the Precision Angle brush. I just don't reach for this ever, but you know, there's always a moment where you need a brush and you got rid of it. So we're gonna keep it because I'm not gonna have that moment. Yeah, and when I use a pomade, this is my brow pencil or my brow brush that I use, and this happens to be a Wander Beauty brow brush. But yeah, oh, this is dirty. This needs to be cleaned. Okay, let's face it, half of these brushes need to be cleaned, but we're gonna keep pushing on. This is huge, in case you were wondering. This is the ECM W23. I believe this is the medium, or maybe this is the large. This is the large brush. I did not think it was going to be this large. This is basically the size of my fingernail. So if you have huge lids and you can't find something to really apply your lid brush, this is a fluffy flat brush, but it is a flat brush nonetheless, and it's just huge though. That's the only bad thing with that brush. Okay, we got a couple more organizers left. Let's see here. There are a couple of brushes I don't use consistently. I will never use this, so this can go. This is the BH Cosmetics 12 brush. I don't necessarily like this shape of a blending brush, so this can go. This is a Freedom blending brush, I guess. I don't know. This is another brush I'm not a huge fan of. This is a Clarity E30. I didn't like a lot of stuff that I tried from that brand, actually, or anything. This is, I don't even know what to call this. This is supposed to be a brush. We just gonna chalk it up to being decoration. Honestly, so expensive. I don't even know what to do with that stupid thing. Oh, this is another compact eye brush I didn't know I had. Hopefully I'll figure that out. Or not figure it out, use it. This is a really compact crease brush that I just didn't know I had. Would be a really good brush. We're gonna keep that. Love my ColourPop brushes, love my Dose brush. This is a good brush. Didn't know I had this either. Just always sometimes just good to get through. This is where my Eddie Funkhauser brush is. I love this pencil brush. It is really, really nice. That is going in my like everyday using brush thing. Yeah, so these are good. So we are going to put these away. Got rid of a whole collection of them. Then we have all brushes really that I use. And they're all pretty extensively dirty, but I will pull them out so you guys can see. And maybe I'll find one or two like I did last time that I will declutter. Okay, so I have an obscene amount of dirty eye brushes. That is because I use a lot of brushes in my looks depending on what my looks are. I have my small detail brushes for my artistic looks for Instagram. I have my small crease brushes just to get nice in the crease. My nice fluffy blending brushes, my pencil brushes, I use a lot of different brushes. This Wet n Wild one has really been through the ringer. Honestly, both of my Wet n Wild brushes have been through the ringer. These are both actually really decent crease brushes. They've both been through it. And I mean, these are what, like $1.03 at the max. I can get some new ones if I really want to. Honestly, I have my eye on a couple of other brands. So do I really need these? No. Are they bringing something unique to my foundation or my brush range? I don't really know. There are a couple of these that are just really badly stained, and they're super, super flexible, which can be good in the right moment, but I find that I really reach for more concentrated brushes. I actually really like this Morphe brush. This is the M535. I really enjoy this. I think I'm actually going to go ahead and declutter these three. They're nice brushes, and had I kept them in my collection, I would use them. But if I'm really thinking about brushes that I really enjoy and get pleasure from using, I don't get pleasure from using them. I just use them because they're clean. I really enjoy my Refer brush like this. I enjoy any brush that is like this. It's like a bigger blending brush and it's tapered to the top. I really enjoy that. This Royal Land Nickel brush is one of my absolute favorites. I even really enjoy this Coastal Scents brush. Fantastic. So yeah, I'm pretty sure this Wet n Wild brush is stained too. I think I might get rid of that too. It's a good brush, but just once again, just getting rid of some of these excess brushes that they're good, but I've upgraded myself. I feel like I can achieve better things without them being here. I low-key hate this brush, so I'm gonna get rid of it. We got a couple other like really cheap brushes like this e.l.f. one and this e.l.f. one, but I enjoy all of them and I don't feel the need to really get rid of any other brushes here. Like I said, I will be scooping up a couple more. I have one brush set on its way to me. I have another one in the back of my head that I will be picking up. So even though I am getting rid of quite a few brushes, more face brushes than eye brushes, they're making room for new babies to come into my collection. So with that, I am just going to put these back, and I'm going to just show you guys all of the brushes that I am getting rid of altogether. Okay, so in the grand scheme of things, this is not a lot, but when it came to my face brushes, this was a lot, and this was necessary. I had so many face brushes, and I don't use nearly as many. I'm really happy that I broke down how many foundation brushes I have. The powder and bronzer, I mean, that's always going to be a range that I just have a lot brush wise, but everything else, I'm just happy to get rid of it. I will probably clean the ones that I can clean, give them to some friends. I have a co-worker that just said she wants to restart her makeup collection, so some of these brushes may be beneficial to her. The ones that are like eye brushes that I feel like are stained to Kingdom Come, those are just gonna go in the trash. And yeah, I feel a little bit happier. I even made room and got rid of another brush thing. This I got last Halloween. Anyways, this I got last Halloween, and I've been using it to house my brushes, but I think I'm gonna put it in the background of my videos to bring some light. Long story, you'll see it, maybe, maybe not, who knows. But I'm also just happy because this gives me a little bit more room to see things on my desk. And yeah, I'm happy I got rid of some things that I genuinely think are good, but I just do not need. Providing for friends, all that I love to give to my friends. If they ask me, Blake, do you have this? I give it to them. I love to give to my friends in the areas that I can provide for them. So this was a long ranty video. I hope you guys enjoyed this declutter. Look forward to some more. This would have been the last declutter that the third one that I have recorded. I've recorded my base products, I've recorded my lip products, and I've recorded this. If you are wondering about any one brand, I did a video all about my luxury brushes. I will hopefully link that up in the cards. That was a very extensive video. I really enjoyed that video, and I need to go back to figure out some of the brushes, the names, so I can get some duplicates of the ones that I really enjoy. Especially the face brush. I mean, not the face brushes, the eye brushes, because there's certain shapes that I just really enjoy and I've grown accustomed to using. But other than that, let me know what you want me to do next. I could definitely do eyeshadow, blush. Those are pretty much the only two categories. Face palettes, I could probably do face palettes. Maybe I'll do face palettes tonight, because I'm like in a procrastination mood and I already have the setup. I might go ahead and do that actually. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and as always, y'all,